if one thing happens to a black man, it affects us all. And that's why I tend to focus on our ethnic image, because if one person acts up and does something crazy, then it affects us all. Austin Hollerman is now the face of the Password Bros failing, even though it's not true. But what did I say? If the lie is more entertaining, the truth doesn't matter. Young Austin Hollerman. A little bit of background from him. He is from Dallas. He was a professional barber. I think he used to do celebrity cuts, get paid a lot of money to do that. He decided to take a trip to Brazil one time, and his mind was blown. He went online. He made a video talking about his experience going over to Rio.
So why did Brazil ruin dating in America for me? The first step is I got around some damn cooperation.
And the women that he encountered.
I've seen some of the most beautiful women that are humble, in person, cooperative, and friendly.
And he went viral from that short video that he did. So a little time passed and he decided to go back a couple times. I believe he went to Colombia, he went to Thailand, but he ultimately settled in Brazil and he actually moved there. But they are now trying to cancel him. I guess he got flagged by a Brazilian feminist who saw his video on Twitter, because Austin Hollerman posted this video on Twitter where he was talking to Brazilians. It's safe to say that he was asking some crude questions to these Brazilian women. He was basically trying to convey to his followers that the Brazilian women were easy and all this type of stuff or whatever. And it somewhat backfired on him to the point that he's in Brazilian news where they're trying to ban Austin Hollerman from YouTube, also from all social media platforms, period. And from what I've heard, he actually left Brazil. Hopefully he's doing well and he's safe. But I wanted to discuss this because I put out videos where I talked about my experiences with traveling. And one of my videos, one of my live streams, I dedicated it specifically to you all being safe out there. And one thing that you have to do as a black man when you're in these different countries is to understand that this is not the United States. So you have to abide by their rules. And if they feel that something offends them, then it offends them and there's nothing you can do. And one thing that a lot of black men have an issue with is shutting the hell up. Sometimes we like to be too boastful when we get into certain situations and we reveal too much. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself, because when I was younger, around his age, I probably would have did the same thing. My only saving grace was the fact that we didn't have social media like that. Social media wasn't cracking like it is now. So I probably would have been in a situation like him, over explaining too much, giving out too much information, and just, kind of putting myself in a predicament with that said country. And that's something that you don't want to do. You want to be able to travel freely to these places to where you're safe. And for Austin Hollerman, I think this is a valuable lesson for the young man. Is just he can get the information out there, but you have to be respectful in the same right. And also, it will be wise of him to be a little bit more professional, because the video that I saw where he was talking to the young lady, his shirt was off. It was just kind of, he's young. I'll just say that. But there is a lot of things that he could do better, and I'm sure he understands that. But just make sure that you're safe when you travel to these different countries and abide by their rules, because you never know, whatever you put on YouTube or whatever you put on social media, it's for the world to see. I said this last week, if the lie is more entertaining, the truth doesn't matter. So yeah, and I heard him on one of his apology videos where he was trying to say, hey, that he really didn't understand what I was trying to say, but there are some things that he could have done better. I started traveling in the year 2000 to Kuwait. So, and of course it was and things were lax back then. When I went to Kuwait for a deployment, we were able to go off base and go to the mall and shop and things like that. It's not like that now. But back in the day in 2000, yeah, I was able to experience Kuwait in a different light. And that was actually on a deployment. So I started traveling over almost 23 years ago. And I've been traveling ever since. So even though I may go to a new country, to travel, it's not new to me. But when you're a young guy and you're seeing something that you've never seen before, or you're experiencing something that you never experienced before, then yes, you want to tell the world. And with Austin Hollerman, his platform, I seen on one of his community posts, he actually put, hey, because guys were telling him, hey, why don't you show or share some videos from the countryside of Brazil? Or why don't you share some video from the cultural side? Show us the food, show us different things. So he posted up a community tab where he showed, if I post, I think he was in Thailand, and he posted a picture and a thumbnail of him talking about how beautiful Thailand is. And it only got 7,000 views. But he posted a picture of a video he did about the Brazilian women or the Thailand women in the gym. And it got 73,000 views. So his goal is to become a full-time content creator. He mentioned in one of his older videos that if this don't work, I'll just go back to cutting hair, which is a good plan, a backup plan to have. But his ultimate goal is to become a full-time content creator. So with that, you have to be able to appease your audience, and you have to do content that's geared toward what your audience wants to see. So now he's kind of pigeonholed himself to where, hey, most men want to see the women's stuff, but he hasn't figured out a formula yet to convey his message in a less aggressive type of way. But I'm pretty sure he'll figure it out eventually. And there are other guys that are in these spaces that are living in Brazil, and they figured out a way to do that. And I think he'll be okay in the long run. But I'll tell you one thing, this is a hit to the Passport Bro movement. If you're a man who considers yourself a Passport Bro movement, no, it doesn't affect you going to different countries. But I'll tell you this much. The public opinion is that all Passport Bros are canceled. I went on YouTube, I went on TikTok, I went on Instagram, and I already saw detractors, people sitting there saying that the Passport Bro movement is over. I seen one young lady, her name is Tanya TKO. She did a full video on Austin Hollerman, the leader runs for life, and basically what happens when you're a black man. If one thing happens to a black man, it affects us all. And that's why I tend to focus on our ethnic image, because if one person acts up and does something crazy, then it affects us all. So Austin Hollerman is now the face of the Passport Bros failing, even though it's not true. But what did I say? If the lie is more entertaining, the truth doesn't matter. So they're using him as, hey, you see these black men going over there messing it up, and they're getting canceled and kicked out of the country and things of that nature. Realistically, it doesn't hurt you. But in the public eye, in black women's eyes, this affects all black men. See, you can't take black men anywhere because they're going to, mess it up for everybody. You see this guy, Austin Hollerman, getting kicked out of Brazil, even though it only affects him. Because like I said, there's multiple channels of black men living in these different countries, and they've been living there for years. But the risk that I believe the Passport Bros took with Austin Hollerman is using him as somewhat of a avatar, or using him as the focal point for the movement. And there are guys that were probably more suited to be the face of the Passport Bro movement. But since Austin Hollerman was young and he was going on these different platforms and programs, a lot of guys were looking to him as the person who was going to represent the Passport Bros. But he's young. And even though, like I said, I support the Passport Bros wholeheartedly, I love to see black men happy. But if you're a new traveler and, you need to go check out one of my old videos where I explain how you need to move if you're a new traveler, but just be safe. Make sure that you're following the customs and courtesy of the country that you're in. Here shortly, I'm actually about to take a trip to Germany for a couple of weeks. So I will make sure that I put up a vlog and let you guys know how it is, because all these places that everybody is talking about, I've been to. I've been to 46 different countries, some multiple times, and I'm still here and I'm safe. And you just have to make sure that your message is one that is respectful of that country and the women that you're speaking about, if that's what you decide to create your platform off of. And also make sure that you're presenting yourself in a respectful manner. My advice for Austin Hollerman, I would say branch out. I would say go to different countries and just do video vlogs on that. And also don't be as salacious, cut down the swearing, and try and focus on, yes, you could talk about women, but put some of the culture in there as well. So God bless Austin Hollerman. Hopefully he's doing well and he's able to rework his platform and continue doing the great work that he's doing.